Welcome, everybody. Yes, here we are again. Here we are in our Gemara here. We're going to learn the Gemara and some halachos about a yoledes, a woman after birth, what's her halachic status, etc. One second. Yes, the shir is for the refuah of Michal Yafa Bas Shena, and the shir is Lilu Nishmas of Imrim Menachem and Akiva. That slocha, that solo of the hostages, they should be back home soon with no limitations and no agreements. They should just be back. Mashiach should be here soon. And we are now in Maseches Shabbos Daf Kuf Kaf Es Amud Aleph in the first wide line. Amri Nahardoi, Nahardoi, the yeshiva people of Nardo. Nardo was the yeshiva in Bovel. And what did the Talmidim Nardo said? Chaya, Chaya, a woman is a yoledes, a woman that just gave birth. Gimel, Zain, Velamed. Gezel, Gimel, Zain, Lamed. For certain things, for certain kulos, the yoledes has a status of choyle sheyesh b'sakona. She's considered to be dangerously ill after birth, during, of course, and after birth up to 3 days. For certain things, she's still called a chola, cholonis, up to 7 days. And for other things, no sakana, she's considered as a chola up until the 30th day. And the Gemara will elaborate and explain. Gimel, from the time of birth, and we're going to define that too exactly since when. Gimel, ben omo tzrichani, or ben omo loy tzrichani, mechal Shabbos, which means from the moment, that's actually a question, from the moment of either the moment of birth itself up until 3 days, 1, 2, 3 days from the time of birth, she's considered to be so dangerously ill, sheyesh by sakana, that either she said, I need that chilul Shabbos, I need hot food, fresh hot food, no microwave belly won't do it for me. I know I need it. Or even if she said, I don't need, right? Mom says, I don't need. But her friends said that she does need, as Rashi explains, we always mechalel Shabbos. There are two issues we have to explain here. Number one, from when do you count the 3 days? So I kept telling you, and that is what the Mishnah Berurah does say, although tongue in cheek. Mishnah Berurah says that you have to count those 3 days, and she's considered the cholonis from the time of birth. However, we learned before that the moment in which she's considered to be a choilo sheyesh b'sakana is before the actual birth, from the time when she starts bleeding, or from the time that she can't walk, or from the time that she sits in the bed. And anybody that has more than one child or a few children, whatever, you know that sometimes birth can be a very long process. There are women who have, from the beginning of the process till the end, can have 12 hours, 24 hours, or more. So that's a big nafkamina. Do you count the 3 days from the moment when it started, the process, or from the moment when the process ended, the actual birth? That could be 1 or up to 2 days too. Yeah, induction, no, the inducing, v'chule. And that is a question. The Bir Locha has debates about it, has his doubts. But inside the Mishnah Berurah, he says that really from the moment of birth, which is a kula. Yeah, let's say on Sunday the whole story started. You call the parents. Yeah, the midwife, the doctor. They said you go crazy. All of a Shar Tzedek and Adasa, back and forth. Sunday, Monday night it's a Mazel Tov. That's a huge nafkamina. Do you start counting the 3 days from Sunday morning for Monday night? Ask a local Orthodox rabbi. It's a big nidon which the Mishnah Berurah himself is tutz dodim. So now that's one way. This is the So that's the one topic. The other topic is, what does it mean her friends are saying? Well, who are these friends? So the Mishnah Berurah explains based on Rishonim, it means the friends are telling us, the Rabbonim, that's the norm. She doesn't know she needs hot food. We know Yoledis needs hot food. That's the accepted norm. And therefore she needs it. And she says, no, I don't need that. We don't care. In other words, within the first 3 days, we hold she's so, she's such a red alert. She's a 5 stars misukenes. She's super misukenes. She's assumed to need all the needs of a regular lettuce, even if she claims that she doesn't, because she doesn't know any better. That's assumption that the Rishonim explains to Shiti, whatever, all kinds of things. I don't know much it's going to get to the medicine today, but that's a concept. Yeah, she doesn't know what she needs. That's the Chaveros. The Mishnah Berurah, which I hope to see inside later, Mishnah Berurah also says we're talking when there's no doctor. She gave birth at home, corona, I don't know. But if there's a doctor or a midwife who know well, you listen to them more. You listen to them, generally speaking, more than the friends. More than the friends. Let's say they say that whatever. We're going to see it in Mishnah Berurah. But that's the voice of the doctor is obviously very important. I really hope we manage to finish it over, then we see the Mishnah Berurah. Now, number two, Zain, between the third and the seventh day, she's still considered as the Chodesh Shesh B'Sakona, but it's not red alert, it's, yellow, orange, it's less. Meaning, if she says, I need that hot food right now, no, I need it now, the hot food, no microwaving for me, mister. I didn't even microwave is a problem in Shabbos, by the way. The machlokes, but it is, yeah. I need the hot food. You give her the hot food. On Shabbos, you eat up the food. Oh, here, if the friends are not argue, and all her friends are telling her during that second stage, between the third and the seventh day, the friends say, yes, she needs the hot food. Everybody in my seminary, in my chevra, they all have hot food on the fourth day, even though it's Shabbos, and she says, I don't need, then we'll listen to her. Why? Because although, yeah, she's a chodesh shesh b'sakona, still, but the level of sakona is less so. In other words, we don't assume that she doesn't know what she wants. If she says, I know, I don't know, then we'll listen to her. Also because she can wait. We assume she can wait with the hot food till Motzei Shabbos, if she says that. However, says Mishnah Berurah, that in the second stage, let's say it's a stomach, she's sleeping, she's not saying anything, we are Mechal Shabbos for her. Yeah, she's still called Yesh Basakona. To the exception is only if she says, I don't need, then we'll listen to her. One more point which also exists, this is very similar to Sugi at the end of Yuma. One more point before we talk again about the doctors is if she says, I need, from anywhere between the first and the seventh day, what's a common denominator? If she says, I need that hot food or the hot shower, the hot thing, we'll listen to her. Let's say there are 10 top doctors from Johns Hopkins, from Mount Sinai, from Hadassah, and they say she doesn't need, and she says, I need, u'mechal Shabbos. Why? It's a famous concept from Yuma, which we import here. Leiv yodea moros nafshei. The heart knows its own bitterness. That's a very modern concept, by the way, in medicine, that you listen to the patient, yeah? But now, we know it's from halach already. If she feels she needs it, we listen to her. Yeah, that's up to a third and seventh day, right? The only difference is between the third and the first stage and the second stage, the difference is that if in the second stage she says, I don't need to listen to her, in the very first stage, in the 3 days, we always Michal Shabbos, even if she says she doesn't need. As long as it's accepted thing by every Oledis, we do it for her, even though she says she doesn't have to. That's in the first 3 days. We know better than her. Lekula of Shabbos and the Chumrah of Pikuach Nefesh in the first 3 days. They're both sakana, but one level less between third and seventh, fourth to seventh. Yeah, Lamed. What happens between the seventh day and the 30th day? Yeah, that last period of those 3. Afilu amot tzrichani en mechalon Shabbos. She says, I need hot food now. Says Yoledis on the, let's say, 9th, 10th, 11th day, 29th day. And she says, I need hot food now. Tell her, Sheifele, wait till Motzei Shabbos. So what's special about that time? Every person on the Chal Shabbos. Aha, aval, oisin eladei armoi. You tell the goy, you tell Tim Mackenzie to make her hot food, even isodoraisa, which means, as we're going to see now, between the 7th and the 30th day, she has the status of choyle she'ein boy sakona. Chodesh she'ein b'sakona does mean somebody has a bit of, earache or something. Chodesh she'ein b'sakona is defined by the Mechaber and the Ramah as a person who is not just mechush or some kind of pain or ache. It's a person who's dysfunctional. He's lying in bed, can't get out of bed. That's a choyle she'ein boy sakona. He's seriously ill, but he's not in danger. Migraine, migraine, migraine. He can't function. He lies in bed with a pillow on. Oh, dark. Yeah, can't talk, can't function. He's not sakonas chaim. Migraine is not cancer. Baruch Hashem. Elamai, in such a situation, it's called she'ein b'sakona. You can do anything by a goy, and after long debates, I will tell you that Mishnah Vu Paskins even the Oraisa, and that's very much from here too. Yes. In other words, we can tell. I know we had it story with my mother-in-law. She's she's wheelchair, old, and b'sakona. She got Indian women, yeah, helpers, and they were mechalel, unfortunately, but that's what you do. Yeah, even the Oraisa. Yeah. Okay. So now, Keder Breder Rav Eloi. This is supporting what Ravula Breder Rav Eloi said. The Omar. All the needs of choyle shein b'sakona are done by armoi, by a goy b'Shabbos, even the oraisa. Ukadav vimnuna, and also like Rav Vimnuna said, Domer vimnuna dover shein b'sakona oimer lenochi ve'oise, which means if there is a dover shein b'sakona, it's a need that has no sakona. The choyle has no sakona. He won't die without you giving the hot food, but he needs it. He has real need for hot food. The person with the migraine. You can tell the guy, I'm not bishul akum, whatever. Tell the guy to put the hot food in the microwave, press the button, and give it to the chol shein b'sakona. The Ramah ends that chol shein b'sakona. What about these very brave women or men? And they, the guy's horrific migraine, and he manages to go to shul and to give shir and to this. It's very nice, but it's still called chol shein b'sakona. Why? Because he should have been in bed. Says the Ramah, not exactly these words. If it's be'etzem dysfunctional, he's overcoming. But be'etzem, the situation is dysfunctional. Therefore, he can have, that the melacha d'oraisa done for him. Could claim maybe he should go to bed. Lo mishaneh, but l'maisa that's the ikar din. Okay, and that's the status of that's a chiddush. If a yoledes, you may think that she's running around, but be'etzem between the 7th and 30th day, she still has that state of chol shein b'sakona. I don't know exactly what details are, but l'choira, yes, that's a chiddush. We view her, we categorize her as chol shein b'sakona. We do in 7th and 30th. If she seems very healthy, ask a rabbi, but be'ikar din, that's matzav. Also fasting, some say she doesn't have to fast, some of the tanisim, that's another shayla. Amar nochi ve'oisem. Amar vidu mashmuel, l'chaya la midyoy. Rav Yehuda b'shem Shmuel is now telling us again the statement that for a chaya, there's a certain halacha that the yoledes has a kula up to 30 days. Correct the Gemara lemay hilchasa, lemay nefkamina 30 days, right? I'm asking a question now. What do you mean lemay hilchasa? We just said up to 30 days, right? She's what chol shein b'sakona. So I looked in Yotzer Chochma. There's a sefer by Rav Gidon Atiyah. Somebody I think who lives today. He gave a very very good answer. Rav Gidon Shmuel, if you noticed, he didn't say Gimel Zayin and Lamed. He just said 30. You hear it's a new statement. Tamashma is not mechalik between before and after the 7th or the 30th or the 3rd. He lumps them all together. And that's the question. What's a common denominator to all 30 days? L'may hilchasa, amin ardoi l'tvila. Now, those say for tvila, meaning a yoledes, apparently, I didn't check it, she gets cold. And if she needs to go to mikveh and the mikveh is cold, today we're pampered, all the mikvehs are hot. But if she needs to go to the mikveh is cold, or even if the mikveh is hot, but outside she's going to chap, cold, right? From hot bath into cold air outside. And therefore, because she's metzunenes, she's cold because of the birth, she should not go to mikveh. She should not go to mikveh with up to 30 days after the birth. Yeah, don't go to mikveh because you're going to chap a cold. Yeah. Now, let's see what are the exceptions to that rule. When do we say that she should not go to mikveh because maybe she'll catch cold? You know that is true if her husband is not with her. Let me explain it soon, but let's continue. But if her husband is with her, and after the mikveh she will be with her husband in Tashmish, her husband will warm her up because one body warms the other. Loshen Rashi. Let me explain. We always think, why would one go to mikveh? We have, one mitzvah in mind. But if you live in the times of the Gemara, an Eshes Chaver can go to mikveh every other day for millions of reasons. She's Eshes Chaver, Eshes Kohen Chaver, yeah. They eat truma, they go to Stam. In the Eshes Chaver, anytime she becomes Tom, she touched the sheretz. She goes to mikveh. She went to that v'chule every tuma. Lav dafka nida and lav dafka to do with the husband. Oh, now we say azoi. If she was toivel and the husband is not around, the tefillah has nothing to do with relations with him. Yeah, she is toivel because she touched the dead mouse. Yeah, she cleaned the house, it was dead mouse. Tome goes to mikveh. If she goes to mikveh, she's cleaning the house, after birth. She found a dead mouse. She's tome goes to mikveh. Husband is not in town, or husband is not. She's not into being with the husband right now. Then she shouldn't go to mikveh because she'll have cold and he's not there to warm her up. But if Shitaki goes for mikveh as we define mikvehs for oino, and the husband is with her, then she can go even within 30 days after birth if she managed to get clean. And then the husband and her, they get warm together physically, and therefore it's not a problem. Okay? Kiho. And the Gemara tells us a very sad story to emphasize this point. Kiho, like the Balte de Rav Chizda, Rav Chizda's daughter, which was Rov's wife, Tovlo, she was toivel begoit los in yoimin. She was toivel within 30 days to the birth of her child. Shelo bifnei ba'ala, not in the presence of her husband. As we'll see soon, her husband, who's Rava himself, he was in a different city. Yeah, after the birth, he happened to be in Arintan. He was in yeshiva learning. She was in her own hometown. And what happened? She went to mikveh not in his presence. And you know what happened? Veitztanias. She was mitztanein. She caught cold. They brought her bed, her deathbed, to Rava after Rava to Pumpadisa, and he was maspeder in Pumpadisa. Very tragic. She did the wrong thing. She went to mikveh too early, within 30 days, without her husband, not in her husband's presence, and therefore she chapped the cold, and nobody was there to warm her up, and therefore she died. And that was the tragic story to teach us: don't do that at home. Today it's not Nogea, but when Mashiach comes, it will be Nogea. Right? We'll all keep Tumah V'Tara, and people become Tumah regardless of Nida. They have to know within 30 days not to go to mikveh. Maybe, I don't know today, but yeah, maybe if she goes into the warm car, I don't know. What? I don't know. They had coats and scarves back then too, but the Yoledes, I saw in one of the Rishonim, and then I lost it. I saw it in the computer. It says that the Yoledes has more cold than other people. That's all idea. We all get cold after mikveh. But she's so much colder that maybe even the clothes won't help her. Maybe that's a word. Yeah, she's cold from the inside, something more internal, more medical. That's a word. That's when you let this, not other people. Other people go to mikveh and they don't get cold.
What about mikveh?
Oh my gosh, no, don't talk. I personally, that's a very holy place. There is no mikveh. I can't take cold water. It's not for me. I hope Avanis will be miskaper otherwise. Oisin medura l'chai b'Shabbos. Oh, you're allowed to create, to ignite medura, big fire, like a fireplace, bonfire, for a yoledis on Shabbos. That's machlokes rishonim. Some say up to 7 days, and some say up to 30 days. Wow. The Shulchan Aruch brings down, if I'm not mistaken, from the Rambam, that halacha of cold, even though between 7 and 30 days she's not sakona, comes to cold, she's yes misukenes for that particular aspect, and therefore even a yid, if necessary, there's no goy. Yeah, Mishmur says if there's a goy, use a goy. If not, use a yid to put out to create the fire for her. Yeah, so we thought lechaya in lechoy laloi. Maybe only chaya is colder than regular choilim, but it's tam choyle she'en b'sakono. Then no, b'moisik shomim in. Yeah, maybe I'm wrong about she'en b'sakono. I think the choyle we're talking here. Pretty sure. 1 second. Yeah, I'll show it soon in the Shulchan Aruch. But let's just continue for now. So now, lechaya in lechoy leloi. Only a chaya can have the fire ignited for her, created for her, but a regular choyle no. A regular choyle who's mitzunan is less mitzunan, not as cold as the chaya. So there's a special chill, after the birth. B'moisek shomim in, b'moisek chamaloi. Maybe only during the rainy season when it's cold, then you're allowed to create the fire for her. But when it's sunny and nice outside, why should you light the fire for her? Dog the Gemara, no. I would read the parentheses now, although they're round brackets. That's not true. No. You create the fire for everybody. Yeah. I assume this is the fire, and that can be done by Yid, or with a goy, right? Remember, mida itmar. I just want to see it in the Shulchan Aruch 1 second about Yoledes here. I opened the Shulchan Aruch here in the screen. Exactly. Oh, very nice. Nice. True. Oisin, zog the Shulchan Aruch, Oisin, Shin Lamed Vav, I'm reading inside, you don't have it. Oisin, V'dur, Yoledes, Kol Shloshim Yoim. Yeah? Kol Shloshim Yoim, like the Rama, V'afil B'tkufas Tammuz. As we'll see soon throughout the year, even in the sun season. So now, says the Mishnah Berurah, אם יש לצעצינה וכולי, לא. לשאר חוילה, על ידי עובדי גידול מותר, אפילו לאין סכנה עם צורך למדורה, as I told you. If the person is a choila she'ein bo sakona, a goy can do it, can light the fire for him, even if there's no sakona, but he needs it. Le'yesh sakona, imam shetzorich mutaf l'dei Israel, b'shiv shal b'avdi gidol, mamash as I told you. Yeah? Yeah, mamash as I. Up to, if it's choila she'en b'sakona, what is it? She'en b'sakona by a goy, she'esh b'sakona with Yid, if there's no goy. This is now the proof that this is across the board. And he says, Heikis dam. Oh, a person who did a causes dam. What's a causes dam? A person who let blood. He did some bloodletting. Yeah. In other words, a causes dam, they took a syringe and basically drew blood out of the person. And then it's supposed to be a very healthy thing for the person to do a causes dam. Then it's tannen. He got cold. Apparently, when the blood is out of the body, that cools off the body in an unhealthy way. Yeah, it mamish makes the body cold when it's tannen. What do? Oisin lemedura. Afilu b'tkufas tamuz. You're allowed to create a medura for him, to light the fire for him. Afilu b'tkufas tamuz. Even in tkufas tamuz, even in the quarter of the year, which is the summer quarter, the year is divided to 4 tkufos. Each tkufa starts either the solstice or the equinox, right? The winter solstice, the summer solstice, and the 2 equinoxes. The longest day, the shortest day, right? That's in Tammuz and that's in Tevis. Tevis is the shortest day. Tammuz is the longest day. Yeah, and Tishrei and Nisan are equinox. They're equal. Yeah, equal days. So those are the beginning of the 4 tkufas. Even in the tkufa of the summer, even then, a person you do a Madura because why? He may become cold internally. Internally so. Yeah? So now, I just want to see, okay, the Seder, fine, very good. Shmuel, the Gemara tells us a story. Shmuel, I just want to point out that it sounds like the way I see it, it sounds like it's a Yesh B'Sakona after a Kozas Dam. I think so. Let's see how the Gemara goes about. You judge for yourselves. Shmuel, the Gemara tells us stories about the importance of making sure you're very warm after the kozas hadam, after the bloodletting. Shmuel tzalchu letaktika deshaga. Shmuel, they broke for him a nice chair, taktaka of shaga, of a very nice tree. Tidhar. There was a very fancy, nice chair made out of fancy wood. Look, Rashi says over here, the taktika deshaga. Yeah, there was a Kise shel tidhar, as I told you. A tidhar is a kind of, tree. Hadas shita brosh tidhar. We say it in the Zmiros, right? So basically, he had a nice fancy chair. He didn't find regular firewood. They broke it and they fed the fire with that. Yeah? Rav Yehuda tzalchulei ptoiro de yoino. Rav Yehuda, they cut for him a table made out of very nice fancy wood called yoino. LeRabba, for Rabba, they cut shalshifa, which is a bench, a nice bench to sit on. They broke it and they threw it into the fire as fuel. They fueled the fire with that. Why? Because it is health, either a sakana or at least a very great need. Nah, v'omar Abai l'Rabbe. Abai asked his Rebbe, l'Rabba, v'kova mamush u'baltashchis. Yeah? How can you take those nice fancy furniture, you bought them in a, nice store, and you burning them? How come, right? You didn't find the firewood? I'm sorry for you, but why you over baltashchis? Omar le, baltashchis de gufoy odifli. Wow. Baltashchis of my body is more important than the baltashchis of the furniture. Mikan Raya of Davidovich told me not to eat junk food. Let's say you have some sweets or cream cake left over. And say, Chaval, I'll have the cream cake. Otherwise, if it gets thrown in the garbage, well, tashchis. So let's have calories, sugar, white flour, and all the nice things, and coloring. I'll eat it so they don't throw it in the garbage. What do you say? No, but tashchis. It's better. Your garbage, your body is not a garbage can. Yeah, so it's not a trash can. Amar B'Yehuda Amar Rav, le'olam Yimko Odom Koros Beisoy. Soon we're going to see the connection. A person should even go to the extent of selling Koros Beisoy, the beams of his house. Sell your own home. V'ikach min olim leraglov. Yeah, you should always have shoes to walk with in the street. Why is it more important than having a home? Says Rashi, stark. The biggest bizoyan are people who walk barefoot in the street. Sometimes you see that in Israel and in some or other places. People think they're young and cool and trendy and nature. Yeah, it's not a big bizoyan. To walk, the Gemara in Psochim, something around in the end says the person who walks barefoot in the street is menuda l'shamayim. He's like excommunicated from Hashem. So it's a very important thing. So it's between selling the house or buying shoes. Buy shoes, that's first priority. What does that have to do with our sugya? Oh, now you're going to see. Ekis dam ve'en yoichal. Let's say he did a causes dam. He did the medical process of the bloodletting. Ve'en yoichal. As we're going to see soon, eating good, healthy, rich meal after the causes dam is of prime importance. So now, let's say you did a causes dam, he's back from the doctor, has nothing to eat, misken. Yim korminolim sheberaglov. Wow. The yaspik man solki seuda. Whoa. As much as having shoes is important, wearing shoes, it's more important to eat after causes dam because it's dangerous otherwise. So you would even sell your shoes and walk barefoot, right? Or wear nothing. Yeah, if it's between your sandals, between your shoes and the food of the post that causes dam, the post that causes dam meal is more important because it's a sakana. Might soke seuda. What are the needs of the meal? What kind of meal is so important to eat or drink after the causes dam? Rav Omar Boso, Ushmuel Omar Yain. Rav says meat, and Shmuel said wine. These, either meat or wine, are the most important things to consume after causes dam. Why? Why is that? Rav Omar Bosa. Why Bosa? Why meat? Nafsha cholef nafsha. Nefesh benefesh. I don't mean the Aliyah movement, yeah? Nefesh cholef nafsha, meaning we all know that the 5 parts of the neshama, right? The nefesh is the lowest one. Nefesh relates to the body. Yeah? Right? So ruach is the heart. Neshama here. V'chol echaya yechida. The nefesh is to do with the liver, with the innards, with a basic, basic life force. So nefesh, tachas nefesh, your meat is now missing something. Your flesh and blood, your own physicality is missing the blood. Give back, yeah, try and balance it by returning instead meat for meat. Shmuel Amar yain, sumka cholav sumka. Shmuel says wine, red instead of red. You have the blood out, right? Hadam hu hanefesh, right? I said the liver, it's true, but also dam hu hanefesh. The Torah says Hadam hu hanefesh. So boso is nefesh tachas nefesh, blood hu nefesh. Shmuel says no, it's the redness instead of the redness. Yeah, bring back redness in return of the red of the redness of the blood that you're missing. Shmuel. More stories that tell us how to treat ourselves after causing Saddam. I just want to surprise you, and I said it in other shiurim. We tend to think, and we're right in many cases, that the refuahs of Chazal don't apply today. And a lot of Achronim say that. A lot of early Achronim go very strongly, don't try it at home. Nishtanu atvoin. The Gemara says in Avodah Zarah around the Chaf Gimel there, that however, a causes dam does work. There is a thing called a causes dam today. From personal experience, it works. Yeah, I'm not gonna give too many personal confessions today. I think I did enough. But basically, if you know how to do it, if you go to the mumchim, there is such a thing called a causes dam today too. And after she, I'll tell you. I want to get people curious in Torah anytime. Yeah, so one day I'll give a share about my life. But there is such a thing today. Shmuel, b'yoyim the Ovad Milsa, Shmuel, on the day that he did the thing, what thing? Hakozas dam, the day of bloodletting, Avdile Tavshila de Tachli. They would make him a Tavshil of Tachli of spleen, right? Because again, says Rashi, the spleen is red for red. The spleen is also red, apparently, red for red. Rabbi Yochanan Shati, Rabbi Yochanan would drink wine, ad denafik tia meune, until the smell of the wine would get out of his ears. He would drink so much wine, he would really drink so much in order to basically recuperate what is missing. Rav Nachman Shati ad kafi tachle. Rav Nachman would drink so much wine until his own spleen would be swimming, would be like, floating in wine. Rav Yosef Shati ad denafik mirivda de kusilta. Rav Yosef drank so much wine until it came out of the hole of the Akozas dam. Akozas dam, the syringe leaves a hole. Like Kopat Cholim, the thing over here, So out of that place, already the blood would come out, whatever that means. Rove would add another technique. Rove me'ahada achamra batlos tarfi. Rove would look for wine which is 3 years old. Yeah, although tarfi means what's it called? It means leaves. Rashi says gimel shonim. Yeah, mishaniklat gimel olin chadoshim. 3 years, and every year there were new leaves that came to it. Bekitzer, it's a three leaves old is like 3 years old. Yeah, Davka, the one of 3 years old, is the best one. That's the wine that's good for the blood letting. Yeah.
Why did it take so long to come on?
Excuse me?
How did axes go on leaves?
The vine has leaves. It's 3 years old and it has no leaves all the time. Rav Nachman bar Yitzchak l'Rabbanon. Rav Nachman bar Yitzchak asked his Talmidim, "B'metusa minaychu, please, people." He cared about their health. He cared about the health of his Talmidim, and he asked them, "B'yom akozo, in the day of the bloodletting, imul b'saychu, tell your houses, tell your wives, Nachman ikla legabon." Nachman is coming to us. In other words, it's mashma from Rashi, not that it should lie to them that Rav Nachman is coming. Give me a meal that's as rich as if Rav Nachman is coming. Imagine yourself, a Rebbe. Oh, can you imagine the Rebbe comes to your house? Psh, a Rosh Hashiva would come to my house. You give him a banquet, a big meal, right? Yeah. Imagine yourself, the meal after the Kozas Dam has to be so rich, so healthy, so full that you have to imagine as if you're having a first class VIP guest. Continues the Gemara. The kulu arumi asiri bar mi'aroma deshari. All forms of cheating, of lying, of deceiving are osir, except for the following lie that's osir. That's allowed. That's allowed. Not what we said before, what we're about to say now. We're going now to see a way of cheating, which is osir, except for in the situation of a kozas dam. Let's see what the trick is. Ma David Milsa. Let's say a person did the thing, meaning a kozas dam. A person has been to the bloodletter, okay, nice medical treatment. V'lo efshal lishkol, v'lo efshal, he can't afford it. What can't he afford? He had money for the doctor, he doesn't have money for the wine. He needs to drink wine. It's urgent, it's very important, right? Now you need to drink wine. You don't have money for wine. How do you manage to drink wine without paying? That's not a nice thing to do ever, except for in this situation. Listen to what you do. Lishkol zuza macha, take bad kind of penny, a bad kind of coin, which is not accepted in the store, right? Velezil, and you should go, the Shav Chanusa, go to 7 different wine stores, go to 7 different liquor stores, add the toim shiur of Yehosa. Every store, you say, "Can I have a taste?" I'm a customer. Look, I have money, and you taste a little bit, and you go, and then you say, "Oh, you don't accept the money. I'm so sorry. Okay, I'll go to the other store. That's absolutely also to do because it's gnevas das, right? You're not allowed to taste if you know you're not going to buy it, and you know you don't. Yeah. The okay. Now, what's the story here? So you may find that unfair and not. So first of all, it's a sakona. I saw in the deal. I mean, the deal shoe booklet reminded me of a sugya in I think in Sanhedrin, if not mistaken. Matzin atzma b'momen chaver has to pay his friend, which means if you're in a dangerous situation, you're running away from a mafioso who's running after you chas v'sholom with a gun, chalila, and on your way you break chairs and you throw chairs at him, so he should stop running after you. Afterwards, you have to pay the owner of the chair. At least it's a discussion. As far as I remember, that's halacha. Here too, maybe when you get richer, you have to pay him back. Or you assume that he's moichel you. La'achar ma'aseh, if he knows you're in a dangerous situation, he'll be moichel you. You know what I'm saying? So la'achar ma'aseh, maybe you have to pay him back for the wine. But such kind of behavior is also lechatchila. It's only even lechatchila, even if you will pay later. It's only mutar lechatchila in a situation of sakana of the bloodletting. Otherwise, no. Now, what's the other alternative solution? Now, okay. Um, the Eloi. Now, let's say he doesn't even have the bed penny. He can't do that trick. Even the bed penny he doesn't have, so he can't play the trick. Lechul shav tamri uchmasa. The alternative to wine, which is definitely plan B, not plan A, it's the lesser alternative. Eat lechul 7 black dates, tamri, veleshuch mishcha betzidei, and smear your sides, your temples with oil. I guess that you can have because tamarim are cheaper than wine. Yeah, the dates are cheaper. Dates in Bavel were very, very common. Every street beggar had some dates. Get 7 dates. No, that you can get. That's the kupa shel tzedakah. 7 black dates. Get some oil. Yeah, some people. Yeah, yeah. Benigni b'shimsha, and now afterwards you should lie in the sun. Why? All these 3 things they heat you up. The word is that the cold, yeah, what's created after causes dam is the shiver, the cold. You need to get yourself warm again by eating the dates, by the oil. Oil is naturally warm, and sitting in the sun. Avlat, we're going to say a story and finish with that. Avlat was a goyish scholar, a goyish chochem. Ashkechel Shmuel the Gani b'Shimsha. He found Shmuel sitting in the sun. Shmuel was sitting in the sun, azoi, keilu sunbathing, kivyochol. Omer le Chakima diudoi bisham yavitava. Chakima diudoi, you're the smartest one of the Jews. Bisham yavitava, is the bed all of a sudden good? Because he said sitting in the sun is not healthy. Skin cancer. Why are you sitting in the sun? All of a sudden it's good for you? Omer le said Shmuel, Yom Kozahu. Today, you're right, Mr. Avlat, Dr. Avlat, but today I had a kozo. I had some bloodletting today, so for me today it's healthy and nice to have the heat of the sun. It's not true. He did not do hakozas dam that day. Ella, why is it really that Shmuel was sitting in the sun? There's one day the entire year when the sun is good. Which day is it? The day in which Tammuz begins, not Tammuz itself, but Kufas Tammuz, yeah, the summer solstice. The summer solstice is the Tammuz, and that day the sun happens to be nice, and that's then it's hottest. It's the sun's big day. When the sun gets its annual birthday, so to speak, then the sun gives you good energy. Why didn't he say to Avlat? I don't want to reveal that secret to Avlat. So I saw a nice idea in one of the Sforim, one of the Achronim in Oitzar Chochma, don't remember who, I'm sorry. He says a very nice idea. He says that this is a bit allegorical over here, that it says, La'osid Lova, what would Hashem do? He won't punish, he won't give reward. He'll do everything together. Hashem will take out the sun, and the Rishoim will be burnt by it, and the Tzaddikim will heal by that. And that's what's happening over here. Shmuel the Tzaddik, for him the Chama is healing. He, the Rasha, the guy, thought you're hurting yourself, because for the guy it's not hurtful. That it represents a Yom Adina Gadol Vanoiro, and Shmuel didn't want to tell him the truth. Because Shmuel said, yeah, well, we are on different planes, I'm sorry, but I'm not telling you the truth. You're not in the club. Hatzlacha uvracha. Okay, we didn't see the Mishnah Berurah inside, no time now, but I think we got a bit of a picture of the postpartum business. Motzei Shabbos, we'll see if there's Shir Motzei Shabbos or not. Ooh, you're not going to be Motzei Shabbos. You will be, and maybe, yeah. Okay,
I'm not sure.
you're not sure either. Okay, I'm not sure about Motzei Shabbos. Stay tuned. I'll let you know on Friday or Motzei Shabbos. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Hatzlacha uvracha. I'll be with you in a second. Thank you so much to all of you who've been with us. Hashkoyach Gadol Me'od.